Okay guys, real quick, I'm going to go through lesson 6. This is mystery computations. This is really going to be an introduction to how you are going to be using spreadsheets in this class. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip our overview. If you need this, you can look at it on the slides, which are on Canvas under the notes section. So your learning target here is going to be that you will be able to determine basic relationships between cell values in a spreadsheet by changing the values and noticing what happens in another cell. Pause here, write this down in your notebook. All right, our introduction. I'm going to go through and show you guys things first instead of having that kind of be at the end. So, spreadsheets are useful mathematical and statistical tools. So first, let's look at what cell B2 contains. So to find B2, we're going to go across to B, so across to B and down to 2. So cell B2 contains 99. Now we're going to do the same thing for cell A4. So again, we're going to go across to A, down to 4. So cell A4 contains negative 17. And then we're going to look at what cell is selected. So, and you can see that those are highlighted. You see how that is a darker color? That's like that purplish color. And this one right here is also a purplish color. That's going to tell you which one's highlighted. You don't even have to look for the cell. You can just look for the highlighted letter and number. So our answer here is going to be D1. Okay? All right, next slide. So it is going to be possible for the value in a cell to depend on the value in other cells. So in D1, where we were just at, they've typed in equals B2 minus D5. So we're going to be looking at B2. We're going to subtract D5. Okay? Then we're going to hit enter. And then you're going to see the results. So in D1, they have 99 minus 0.25. So they got 98.75. Okay, so once you hit enter, it's going to do whatever you put in there. You have to put, let me go back a slide. You have to put this equal sign first. Equals, and then the cell minus the cell, or multiplied by the cell, or any mathematical function. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. So if we type a new number into B2 or D5, the number for D1 is automatically going to change. So we can see here they changed D5 from 0.25 to 20. And D1 already changed. It went from 99 minus 0.25, which equaled 98.75 to 99 minus 20, which equals 79. All right, next slide. All right, so I was going to have you guys do this in class with me, and I was going to have you guys each pick a number between 1 and 10, but because I am not there today, I used a random number generator, and I got these 10 numbers right here. And I went ahead and put them in the spreadsheet. You can find the spreadsheet right here, down here. I did that. And you guys have access to view it. So, I already did this work for you. Everything's here. Next slide we're going to have, I picked 4 numbers. So I want you guys to use the spreadsheet that I gave you. The link was in the last slide. I want you to pick 4 different numbers than what I picked. So I used A8, So I used our 10. I used a 5, so the 2. I used a 7. And I used a 4. All right, so I put in some parentheses in there because order of operations. Do you guys remember? I always learned it as please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. That's how I learned it. We'll talk about how you guys learned it in middle school whenever I get back, okay? So I put parentheses in so that we did our addition and our subtraction first. So I put in this equal sign. That has to go first. And then I put parentheses. So we did A8, so 10, plus A5, so plus 2, times A7, so 3, minus A4, so 1. So in your parentheses, you should get 12 times 2. And 12 times 2 equals 24. So I want you guys to go in and find a way to get these numbers in this chart to equal 24. Okay? Then, when you're done with that, go on to this next slide. And you have an activity in GeoGebra. I want you to click on this if you're in the slides. If you're not, I will put this in the table on the homepage for algebra. So I want you to go through and see how the numbers are related to all or some of the numbers in column A. I believe on GeoGebra I have A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, whatever numbers it is. Actually, instead of putting it on your Canvas table, it's going to be in your GeoGebra task. And right now I'm going to add a picture and show you what the table is going to look like when you get there. See this table? It is going to have, so you are going to change the red, the yellow, and the green, and the blue in A2, 3, 4, and 5. And you're going to determine what happens on this right side. And you're going to answer it. I put questions on every single one of these so that you can answer it individually instead of having one bar or one notes section to put in all of the answers. So there's going to be one question per, or one answer box per question. Okay? Okay, next slide. You have more on spreadsheets. I'm going to go ahead and add another picture here. This is what that's going to look like when you pull that up. There are directions on what you are supposed to do here. Follow the directions. Some of them have places where you have to answer questions. Answer the questions. I think there's 3 questions on there, or 3 different sections of things you have to do. Just take care of it and get it done and turn it in. And let's see here, last couple things. So your homework. You need to do the 2 activities that I just said. They're going to be in GeoGebra. So the 2 activities on GeoGebra. Those are also labeled U1 L6, so Unit 1, Lesson 6. Let's see here. Let me go back a second. Mystery operations. And Unit 1, Lesson 6. more spreadsheets. Then you need to do your Unit 1 Lesson 6 practice problems and your cool down on Canvas. Again, I took the passwords off of your cool down so you can take those at home. Anything you don't get done in class, you need to do at home. And I have one more slide, but I don't remember what it is. Nothing. We're good. All right. Email me if you have any questions, and I will see you in class.